Hello, 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 hello. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Yay, we're back here together. I am your host, Abiyo Noel Jardine, and this is the 7Alive Neuro Micro Program where we have small little increments, one per day, 7 days. You can choose to do 7 days or you can choose to do the entire 7 weeks, whichever you would like. But when you choose to do one, we would just please ask that you commit to the 7 days. Pick any 7 days you'd like. So today we are going to talk about you're remembering wrong. Yep. What are you talking about? You're not remembering that, right? No, it was this other way. Are you curious? Do you want to know? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so this is a interesting process that comes from Neville Goddard, and it is where you take something that happens in 3D reality, and it's kind of like a 3D revision. So what you do is you take let me think of an example here. So we take, okay, oh, let's say you're dating someone and you're a female and the other person's a male. Just to clarify, just to make it simple, whatever, okay? So let's say you're the female and you're dating this gentleman, just basic surface level dates. And the gentleman decide, like, you're just like, oh my gosh, I really like him. Like, I think he's super nice and super sweet and blah, blah, blah. And then one day the gentleman's just like, yeah, you've gone on like 3 dates. And then next time, you know, you text him to say that you ask him to go on a date, he says no. So what you can do, this is probably a terrible example, please forgive me. What you can do is you can have what's like, just say, oh my gosh, I'm totally remembering wrong. We totally went on that date and we had so much fun and and just revise it to the way that you had already planned that that date was going to go. Only do this if you potentially would love to seek out this gentleman still. And me personally, that's why in my mind I was like, oh shoot, this is probably a bad example. Because if someone tells me that they don't want to go on a date with me, then I'm gonna be like, yeah, well, why would I want to be with them anyway, right? So it's probably a bad example. I'm trying to think of a better example for you. Let's say you are you're driving along the road and you get a flat tire and it costs you $500, right? That seems like an excessive amount for a flat tire, but that's why I'm using it as an example. So then you have to have it towed, and then it's being towed, and you go home. It's probably towed some place by where you live. And so you go home, your baby, your car, little pumpkin is at the car shop getting fixed. And so when you go home, when you separated from the cars, you're separated from the emotion, you think to yourself, like, oh my gosh, that's not what happened. Like, they totally told me that I won a $500 gift card and it's paid for, or something to that effect. Does that make sense? Hopefully I'm making sense here. So what you do is you take the event that you didn't like, right? That is perceived to happen in 3D reality. You take it and you say, and you feel the feelings of relief that the event has already has happened in the way that you wanted, that would have been a better outcome for you. You're like, meh, oh my gosh, yeah, they totally paid for everything for the $500 tire that broke. Wow, yeah, that's so cool. And then you go on with the day. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Let me know what you revised and how did that work out for you? And what I would love to know are the feelings. So the feeling transition from the first time that you just kind of like try and laugh about it, right? So you take something that you're so angry about, right? And then you go ahead and you laugh about it, and then it releases all of that anger. So I think that that's probably a better way to explain it. And so you release yourself from the outcome, you release everything, you're like, no, wait a minute, hold up, Big Will. This is not the way it happened. It happened XYZ way. Yes, right? And so then it opens up the transitions for like other things, for the outcome to be a more positive way. Because if you sit there and you're angry and you're like, rah, 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 and you call all 200 of your friends and you post it on all 35 social media platforms you have, and you say all of these bad things about what happened to the car, well, it might even cost you $1,000 now, right? Because you're just putting more negative energy to that event. However, when you take the initiative and you laugh about it, you're like, that's not really what happened. And you don't say this out loud. You say this to your mind, and in your mind, and you keep it to yourself, right? Because remember we had that. I think it was the second or third day in when we talked about secrets, right? When you keep it to yourself, you're like, nah, everything's gonna be all right, right? Everything's gonna be. So you keep your revision to yourself until it has become fruitful, and then you share the process that you used that worked for you, the process that you used with other people, and then you give them the example. All right. I love you guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Love, love, love you. Love, love, love you. And have a good night. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.